Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be in your part of the world. So we are back, week 3, and today we'll be looking at the entrepreneurial mindset. As I said last week, not everybody is cut out to be an entrepreneur. And today we'll be doing a deep dive into what is an entrepreneurial mindset. So, our learning objectives today are understanding the core principles of an entrepreneurial mindset. We need to explain what it is, what it looks like, and why it's essential for personal and professional success. Then we're going to look at developing problem solving and innovation skills and applying creative thinking and resilience to identify those challenges, assessing opportunities, and developing innovative solutions. And finally, we'll be cultivating proactiveness and a growth mindset. Remember, last week we looked at growth mindset versus fixed mindset, and we'll be looking at the ability to demonstrate initiative, be flexible, maintain a positive solution orientated approach to challenges. And as I said last week, entrepreneurs are risk takers. Entrepreneurs are people who don't take no for an answer. So if that describes you, you're in the right place. So first thing we'll look at is what does it mean to have an entrepreneurial mindset? So, in short, it means adopting a way of thinking that embraces innovation, resilience, problem solving. It also involves seeing challenges as opportunities. When you see a challenge, it's not, oh, you fold hands and you go home. It's all about how we're going to solve this problem. You understand? It sees failure as a deeper way to learn, it sees challenges as things to step over and crush. And it's also about taking calculated risks and being proactive in creating value. So the key traits of an entrepreneur are number one, you've got to think outside the box. You've got to develop new ideas and improve on existing ones. Another one is resilience and adaptability. So you're bouncing back from setbacks and adjusting to changing circumstances. For example, you're an entrepreneur, one of your best team members may decide they want to leave. The business is not all about them. You've got to think, okay, so what do we do now? And then it's also about taking in action. Instead of waiting for opportunities to arise, go and look for those opportunities. And it's also about risk taking. And when I talk about risk taking, as we looked at last week, it's not crazy risk, crazy risk that doesn't have head nor tail. Obviously, you've got to take risk, but it's about calculated risk. It's about risk that will eventually pay off. It's about willingness to step outside your comfort zone while assessing potential risk. I always say that, there's no growth in comfort zones, but there's growth in failure. There's growth when you stretch. So, key traits of an entrepreneurial mindset. One, it's a growth mindset. Are you constantly seeking learning opportunities and personal development? A growth mindset is one that is willing to stretch. It's also about problem solving ability. As I said, your best team member says they're leaving, they got a better offer. It's not about you folding your arms and, falling to the floor and crying. It's about you. Okay, so they're going to go. What's next? What can we do next? What can we learn from this? Who else can do this job? It's about identifying issues and creating effective solutions. It's also about self-discipline and motivation. You've got to stay focused on your goals. You've got to maintain determination. You've got to be in it to win it. You understand? Look at a boxer. He goes into a boxing match. He might not win, but that doesn't mean he's never going to go into a boxing match again. It's like you drive a car, you have an accident. Does it mean you'll never drive again? No, that's what it's about. It's about self-discipline and motivation. And then finally, it's about opportunity recognition. It's about identifying gaps in the market and turning them into business ideas. Remember last week I said we never realized that we needed our mobile phones to be videos, to be cameras, to be diaries, to be note takers until it was invented. Good. So, how are we productive using the entrepreneurial mindset. So, number one, we set clear goals and prioritize tasks. You understand? So, we look at what is SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. That's the framework that we use for goal setting. And we break our large goals into smaller, more manageable goals. Another thing we look at is prioritizing high impact activities using the Eisenhower matrix, which is urgent versus very important tasks. And the next thing that we look at is developing a solution orientated approach. When we look at coaching, as I'm a coach, we look at the Oscar model, we look at the Grow model, we look at various models, and then we focus on solving the problem, not just identifying them. We need to embrace challenges as opportunities to innovate and improve. So I want to repeat that. We embrace challenges as opportunities to innovate and improve. And then when we're faced with obstacles, looking at like a Gibbs reflection model, or Kolb's reflection model, we look at what can I do differently? What have I learned? Life is about learning. We consistently learn. Right. So how are we productive using the entrepreneurial mindset? We take initiative. We don't wait for others. We are proactive. We don't wait for opportunities as entrepreneurs. We create them. We stay ahead. We research trends. We look at the new best thing. We look at the new thing that's, happening. Look at AI. Anybody who's worth their soul is looking at, AI, looking at it in their specific industry. You understand? We're going out, we're networking, we're adapting to change, and we're taking those risks. And then four, we're maintaining discipline and self-motivation. We're getting up early. Do you understand? We're out burning the midnight oil. We're doing things to ensure that we bring in something that is going to take us to the next level of where we want to be. So we also have, I remember one entrepreneur said that the start of a good day is waking up early and making your bed. Look at this, creating a structured daily routine to stay organized. We're not necessarily waking up and the first thing we're reaching for is Facebook or Instagram, as an example. We're using productivity techniques such as Pomodoro technique, work in focus intervals with breaks, because we need breaks, important. We're looking at time blocking, allocating specific time slots for different tasks. And then we're keeping ourselves accountable by tracking our progress and reflecting, and may I add, rewarding on our achievements as and when we need to. Right. How to be productive using the entrepreneurial mindset continues. We are embracing continuous learning and growth. As I said, we adopt a growth mindset rather than a fixed mindset because we view failures as lessons. We're regularly seeking feedback. How can I do better? How can I improve? We're invested in self-development through research, through courses, through books, through coaching, through mentoring, and through training. And number six, we're fostering creativity and innovation. We're dedicating our time for brainstorming and idea generation. We're surrounding ourselves with diverse perspectives to stimulate innovation. We're attending masterclass. We're looking at peer reviews, and we're experimenting with new strategies without a fear of failure. Because if we have that fear of failure, we'll never get anything done. And then how to be productive using the entrepreneurial mindset. We continue. We're building resilience rather, and we're staying positive. We may be knocked down, but that doesn't mean we're knocked out. We're accepting setbacks as a normal journey in life. We're maintaining a positive attitude and we're staying motivated. And we're practicing mindfulness and self-care. We're taking those breaks. We are, rewarding ourselves. We are sitting down. We're meditating. We're praying. We're pulling in our faith when needed. But we're managing stress effectively. So, one of the strict routines to develop An entrepreneurial mindset and maximize productivities are number one. We batch similar tasks together. We avoid multitasking to the extent that we don't know what we're doing and we lose focus. So, one thing is group your similar tasks together. We eliminate distractions, you know, possibly use website blockers, mute notifications, be in a quiet space. We're all different learners. Some of us are audio learners, audible learners, some are visual and some are kinesthetic. Audible, we like to hear. Visual, we like to see. And kinesthetic, we like to experience and touch. So we learn according to what our learning style is. And then again, we set deadlines. We don't keep things open indefinitely. We set deadlines. We keep ourselves accountable with time constraints. And then we stay consistent with our productivity. You know, productivity thrives on routine and habit building. And, you know, for some people, they're early risers and they get a lot done. And some people are late risers, they get a lot done because they're up all night. You need to focus on what works best for you. So, what are the AI tools to help with developing an entrepreneurial mindset? One, there's AI for learning and skills development. There's GPT. It provides insights, generate ideas, and helps with strategic thinking. Then we've got Coursera and Udemy. They are AI powered recommendations. They suggest personalized courses on entrepreneurship, leadership, and innovation. And then we've got Quillbot and Grammarly. They enhance writing and communication skills for business proposals, pitches, and content creation. And I find that ChatGPT, DeepSeek, and Grammarly is something that we use in my office and really, really helpful. And then you've got AI for productivity and time management. You've got Motion. This uses AI to schedule and prioritize tasks automatically. Then you've got Reclaim AI that helps optimize work-life balance by scheduling focus, time, and breaks. And then we've got Rescue Time, which tracks productivity and provides insights on how to work more efficiently. And then we continue with AI. We've got AI for creativity and innovation. We've got ChatGPT, which generates business ideas, marketing content, and creative designs, and organizing thoughts and automating workflows. And then we've got Miro AI, which assists with mind mapping and visualizing business strategies. These are all things you can go and look at. And then we've got AI for market research and business strategy. We've got Chat GPT for business strategy. This helps with competitor analysis and business planning. And then we've got Trend Watching AI, which, as the name implies, it identifies market trends and emerging business opportunities. And then we have Google Trends, which uses AI to track popular search trends relevant to business ideas. We continue with AI tools to help us. Then we've got AI for networking and relationship building. We've got Crystal Knows, which analyzes personalities to improve communication and network. And then we've got LinkedIn AI tools. And what this does is suggest connections and it optimizes network strategies. And then we've got Otter AI, which transcribes and summarizes business meeting and networking events. You can use them on Teams, you can use them on Zoom. And then we've got AI for financial and business decision making. We've got File, which is an AI powered expense tracking and financial management tool. Then we've got QuickBooks AI, which assists with bookkeeping and financial planning for entrepreneurs. And then we've got Tactic AI, which helps with cash flow, forecasting, and business budgeting. So these are all things that you can do your research on, you can look at and find out what's best for you. And then we look at key principles of an entrepreneurial mindset. Number one, proactiveness and initiative. An entrepreneur is always proactive. You can't be an entrepreneur who's not ready to do the work, who's not ready to research, who's not ready to take action. So you take action instead of waiting for opportunities to arrive. You anticipate challenges and develop solutions in advance. And then an entrepreneurial mindset is self-motivated, self-aware, and resourceful in pursuing goals. And then secondly, an entrepreneurial mindset is resilient, tough, and adaptable. You bounce back from failures and you view setbacks as learning experience. And then again, under resilience and adaptability, an entrepreneurial mindset adjusts to changing markets, industries, and challenges with flexibility. And then again, an entrepreneurial mindset stays persistent even when faced with obstacles. So, other key principles of an entrepreneurial mindset are as follows: problem solving and innovation. So, what this does, it identifies challenges as opportunities and sees them as growth and improvement. The key principles of an entrepreneurial mindset are that they think creatively to develop new ideas, products, and services. And then the entrepreneurial mindset embraces design thinking and experimentation to find the best solution. Then, without this, there's no entrepreneur. An entrepreneur takes risks but as I said earlier, they're calculated and strategic. An entrepreneur will step out of their comfort zone while assessing risks and potential rewards. A, an entrepreneurial mindset will make data-driven decisions and weigh pros and cons carefully. An entrepreneurial mindset will also learn from failures instead of fearing them. Another thing about the entrepreneurial mindset is that it's all about continuous professional development. Not only are you seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and improve, but you're staying open to feedback. You're seeking coaching, seeking mentoring, seeking consulting. You understand, from experienced professionals. An entrepreneurial mindset is investing in self-development through research, courses, books, and networking. And their vision is always at the forefront of their mind. They have a clear vision of what they want to achieve. But key, is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it achievable? Is it relevant? Is it time bound? They stay focused on their vision and their mission, and they're committed to long-term success. Then, other keys to entrepreneurial mindset are as follows. Opportunity recognition. This is all about spotting gaps in the market and emerging trends. And with that, that means the entrepreneur is out there. The entrepreneur is looking for new opportunities, is very self-aware. And then the entrepreneur is identifying ways to add value through products, services, or solutions. And the entrepreneur is staying ahead by researching competitors and industry trends, looking at the competitor analysis. They're looking at their unique selling point, but looking at what others are doing. They are definitely in it to win it. And then we look at effective communication and networking. They're orators. They've learned about the skills of presentation. They're not scared of public speaking because they've overcome that. They're building strong relationships with mentors, with partners, with customers, with consultants, with their network. They are also clearly articulating their ideas and business strategies. They're developing in persuasion skills. They've got their pitch deck. They've practiced it. They've practiced it in front of friends and family. They've practiced it in front of their mentor. They've got it. They've worked on it. They know what their elevator pitch is. Nobody needs to tell them. If they meet Bill Gates in an elevator and Bill Gates says, "What do you do?" In a jiffy, they've said what they're doing. And so they're out there looking for investments and securing the same investments. Other key principles of an entrepreneurial mindset also as follows. They are self-disciplined. Listen, if they tell you they'll meet you at 9, they'll be there at quarter to 9. They don't rock up at 9:30. They value their time and they value the time of others. So they are self-disciplined. They're up early. They go to bed late, as an example. It's not always the way. Some people are up early, they go to bed early, but they follow a strict routine to stay productive and efficient. They are not lazy. They're practically working on their business 24/7. They prioritize tasks based on impact and urgency, and they maintain focus by eliminating distractions because, they have a purpose and a goal. They've got those SMART goals. They're in it to win it. And then they are up to date with financial literacy and smart decision making. They're not extravagant, especially when they're building the business. You won't find them, squandering their money. Every penny counts for them. They understand the basics of budgeting, investing, and financial planning. They make informed decisions about business growth and sustainability. They manage their cash flow and their resources efficiently. They know how far it's taken them to get where they are. So they're not spendthrifts. Everything they want, that car, that beautiful house, it can wait. They're barely paying themselves a salary because they believe in the vision of where they're going. So, what I want you to do is a reflective task, your personal entrepreneurial growth plan. What I'd like you to do is write down 3 specific actions you will take in to the next month. We're almost at the end of July to develop your entrepreneurial mindset. Consider the problem solving work. The thing I would ask you is what book are you going to read? Empower you to become proactive and innovative in your personal or professional life. So, if there's time for a group discussion, discuss a common challenge that entrepreneurs face: fear of failure, fear of taking risk, not enough money, competition, honing down your value and your mission statement. Brainstorm at least 2 solutions using the entrepreneurial mindset. And then another thing you can look at, because it's always good to be reflective. How can adopting an entrepreneurial mindset help you turn obstacles into opportunities? Look at risk, for example. If you're averse to risk, it will help you to turn obstacles into opportunities. And like I said, it's not crazy risk, it's not mad risk, it's calculated risk that you need. So these are some information that can help you. A TED Talk by Bill Roach, The Power of an Entrepreneurial Mindset. There's also Richard Branson's book, Losing My Virginity, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Kiyosaki. Then you've got TED Talk by Henrik Skill, How the Entrepreneurial Mindset Can Change You. And then you've got Harvard Business Review. You've got Forbes articles on entrepreneurial mindset, which is the power of a positive entrepreneurial mindset. So look at those. So this is our social media. We're on Instagram mainly, and then you can find us on our YouTube. So we're in Lagos, and as I said, go over what I've shared with you today. It's not a one-stop shop, majority of this work is in your hands, and I can only wish you the very best. So to the dear lecturers, well done to you as you go through this. And for the students that will go through this, also, I wish them all the best. And for the lectures, as I said, this is our pilot. Where can we do better? We're already working on handouts, etc. But we want to grow. We're learning as much as you. So empower us and share with us your feedback. How can this be a better experience for you? So once again, wishing you all an amazing time as you go through this YouTube. Get in touch with us. and a wonderful weekend. Take care. God bless. Bye bye.